the Grammys are back, and it's all about the Song of the Year. And this year's Song of the Year winner goes to H.E.R. That's right, for I Can't Breathe with H.E.R. Now, this is so powerful, so important, this song. And we are so happy to see artists like her using her voice for good. So congratulations. Now, we caught up with the duo backstage to talk about this really important win. Check it out.
What's it gonna take for someone to defend her? If we all agree that we're equal as people, then why can't we see what is evil?
Well, it really means the world because, you know, for us, when we wrote the song, it came from a conversation, and we honestly were coming from the perspective of our own personal feelings, and then it turned into being part of the movement and being a part of history. And I think this song, you know, is going to be a stamp in time, and people are going to think of this song when they think of George Floyd, when they think of Breonna Taylor, when they think of all of these people that we are still fighting for. And I hope that it's a contribute to the movement and that it will continue the fight.
How do we judge off the color? The structure was made to make us the enemy. Praying for change cause the pain makes you tender.
I mean, we were just trying to speak from the heart writing this song. You know, we weren't like, oh yeah, let's try to win a Grammy with this song, and we did, and it was authentic, and they saw that, and you know.
I can't breathe. You're taking my life from me. I can't breathe. Will anyone fight for me?
All right, listen, congratulations, H.E.R. So well deserved. So what I thought was really interesting is artists like this that really kind of kicked it up a notch, producing songs in their own home, in their own space. And I thought that this would be a great time to bring someone on the show that is been around the biz for a while, our very own music composer, Ron Camilleri. How you doing? Yes.
My audio was kind of crackling there when I first joined. It's all right.
Yeah, I think well, probably because I mean you perform all the time. I mean, obviously, for those of you that may not know Ron's face, you see his name and credits on all of our shows because Ron Camilleri is the original music composer. Since the beginning of time, we've worked together. So thank you, Ron. But before that, you know, you were worked with major music labels. I'm talking the director of Columbia Records, for Sony Music Canada. I mean, the list is long of the names that you've worked with, from Mariah Carey, Bruce Springsteen, Celine Dion. So the list is long. And I thought this is the perfect time for me to talk to you, because there are a lot of artists out there that are just creating music like in their basements or, you know, FaceTime and just kicking it up a notch on the quality. And yet, you know, it's just a different world. So what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, like, I mean, I think this is the most exciting time if you're an artist and if you're home and you're trying to write music. It doesn't take a lot. If you take a look at the Song of the Year and the Record of the Year, both H.E.R. and Billie Eilish, those records were completely recorded in their homes.
Right, like in her bedroom, in her mother's house.
Yeah, I know. Now, see, something like that would never happen back in the day. When I was at the label, we would have our A&R guys that get the demos, and then they would spend like months and months with the artists in studios, with writers and producers, and they would do different versions. And then eventually the album would come out in like a year's time, sometimes 2 years. And then, you know, in the old days, you'd put an artist on the road just to kind of get their chops up and get used to playing live. You don't have to do any of that anymore. There's artists now that'll put out an album. It can win a Grammy before they've even hit the stage. So you know, it's just a different world.
It is, but it also goes to show that it is about the artistry of it. It's about really good quality music that people can resonate with. And it's not necessarily needing all the bells and whistles. So if anything, that is so inspiring to music artists out there.
Yeah, I think what happens is, see, the talent never changes. The talent from the old days and the talent from today, it's all talent. So I think the only thing that when you're at home, I think people simplify their recording process a little bit as compared to the big power productions that you'll see on finished records by some of the biggest stars in the world. When you're home and you're recording your song, it's a little simpler. And I think simpler is winning out. I think there's a lot of times when people, especially the singer-songwriters or someone who has something to say, H.E.R is such a powerful performance. She doesn't need a ton of big production around her. And Billie Eilish is so quiet and laid back. They've come up with that formula that they can do in their bedroom. And it's magical, it's striking a chord, and it's winning awards. And
I think that's kudos to them, and to the labels these days, where I think before you probably wouldn't even consider something like this, right?
Once the A&R guys would get their hands on it and they would take an artist into a studio, they would jazz it up. They would bring in professional musicians to play all around the artist to make the thing sound like a perfect production. I mean, way back, it started with like the Wall of Sound and the Wrecking Crew, and all these professional musicians would get their hands on a record, and then the artist would just sing on it. Well, now that you don't need that anymore. The people now in their homes can create almost anything they want to create through Pro Tools and Logic and some of the recording programs that are out there. You can get any instrument you want. So it all boils down to what's up here and how you want to produce your message, because a lot of it's what they have to say.
Right. And I think that
lyrics are fantastic.
So important, but it's also inspiring for young emerging music talent out there that's interested in sort of upping their game and feeling like it's, anything is possible. And speaking of which, we'll talk about this later on, but you were actually doing an emerging music event for young music artists. We're going to be working together on that, and it's pretty exciting that you're getting back to the industry.
Yeah, the bottom line is, I've been working with so many professionals over my career that we started talking about the fact that, when we were young and starting out, there wasn't that many people that we could talk to, or there wasn't a lot. We kind of had to teach ourselves how to do a lot of this stuff. And now you see a million courses online where people can go and they're asking for thousands and thousands of dollars to teach you how to do things, to help you in your career. And we thought it would be really great to give back where we don't do anything. We're not going to charge everyone an arm and a leg. And we just want to help everybody out. So I'm going to find a lot of these people that I've worked with and people that you've worked with together. We've both met a lot of people. And we're looking forward. Let's get them together and let's
going to be fun.
Create these like webinars. Let's do something to help everybody.
And it's about giving back and sharing stories and just like being inspired like from these young artists as well. Well, Ron, thanks for taking the time tonight. Grammy night. I know you're watching.
It was great.
This is your vibe. So we got more coverage to do, and thanks again for joining us, and enjoy the rest of the show.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the rest of the show.
All right, thanks, Ron.
Yeah,
all right, Ron Camilleri, music composer, for being on the show. All right, we got a lot more great stuff coming up, so do not go away. Our Grammy coverage continues.